What's up guys, welcome to Diving Garage. In today's video, we're talking about two problems on your Holley Sniper you can fix for free. That's a high idle and a TPS not resetting. Let's dive in. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is when you're trying to set your base timing and get your base idle screw set, you'll come to find that you won't be able to do that and it'll stay at zero even when you restart it. So what's happening is this little guy right here. Let me get you in there. Now obviously I'm running the Holley Super Sniper setup, but that does not matter. All we're going to be focusing on right now is this rear unit that has a throttle position sensor. So as you can see there, if you look at the screw, and you'll see it's kind of in the middle of the travel there. For some reason, when Holley ships these out, they have the screws all the way to one side, and I think I know why. Shout out to DirtySideGetsDown. He put up this video about a similar topic, and in his video he shows him putting it on the table and how the throttle position sensor sits when they're just being assembled. Now I can only assume that this is how they're assembled on a flat bench at Holley and then they're shipped out, because you'll see in the video that he has it flat, but then when he adjusts this correctly, it actually sits a little cockeyed on the table and it's not quite right. But that's exactly what you want. You want this to be in the middle of the travel, so that way this can find zero every single time. Because on a Holley Sniper, every time you do a key cycle, it resets the TPS sensor, so that it's not like the other units where you need to do it as like a part of the setup process and then you're done. This resets every single time to make sure you have a zero. And that is right here on your secondary linkage. When you're running your engine and you're encountering this high idle, come to the secondary linkage. Again, it's the same. I'm running the 2x4, but it's the same as here. You see this little spring right here? It's pushing down on this arm. So when you're encountering that high idle, push this down. And what you'll find is your high idle will probably go away. And so this is another common thing you can fix for absolutely free. All you do is you grab this little spring arm right here and you just wrap it around one more time and make it land right on top of here. Now there are a bunch of different ways you can accomplish that. You can use picks, you can use needle nose pliers, whatever you got. I just used 2 sets of needle nose and got it done just fine. Wasn't an issue. But now let's say you've done that and maybe you even did it on both like I have here, and you still have a high idle. Well, there's one more thing you can do. Now I'll show you here on this Edelbrock ABS2. The concept is exactly the same. On the bottom, you have your primaries and you have your secondaries. And that little arm we were just touching on the Holley Sniper is the same as this one right here. You'll see when I move this arm, the secondaries move. So when your engine is running, you're encountering a nice strong vacuum. What happens, if I can get you zoomed in there, is this. You see how that moved? And if you can look in there, it actually creates a little bit of an air gap. But here's a bit better view. When you get that high vacuum, that happens right there. You see that? That little bit of air is what's giving you your high idle. So you've done the spring wrap, and now you're still getting it. One more thing you can do. So on here, we have 2 hex head screws holding each of these throttle plates in place. On your Holley, I believe it's a Phillips head. So all you got to do is loosen these up, just like, I don't know, just crack them loose. Then just work the throttle a couple times and then tighten those screws up. What happens is when they assemble these, sometimes they just plop them in there. They might be off to one side or the other, and then you can tighten them up and be good to go. On this carburetor, it's a little funky. You got to move this lever here, then you can open them, but you won't have that problem on your Sniper. Then once you've done that, these should be centered. They should have an extra wrap, and your high vacuum should be all gone. Now when I was setting up this Super Sniper 2x4 kit, I encountered both of those issues. In my experience, the TPS issue fixed it immediately, and the second wrap on the spring also fixed the high idle. I actually didn't have to do the throttle plate adjustment, but if I start getting a high idle, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And just make sure if you're assuming you have a high idle, check all your vacuum ports. If you have a blower like this, on the base plate, there are typically 2 ports in the back you have to plug. Don't forget those. And on any carburetor or even the Snipers, make sure all the vacuum ports on the actual body are plugged and capped. And try to stay away from those rubber caps. I think Holley comes with those from the factory. Get those replaced with some nylon caps right away. Well guys, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Get out there and dive in your next project. Catch you next time.